Okay, so last time I explained if you the construction if you have a graph of quantum groups, of compact quantum groups, then you get two graphs of C-star algebra with the maximal C-star algebras. So let's say there are some SE map, and also one with the minimal C-star algebras, reduced C-star algebra. And then you get the fundamental PM, the full fundamental C-star algebra of this one, the reduced fundamental C-star algebra of this graph, and you have a surjective map here, lambda. And this is, you can define the co-multiplication. So you get this compact quantum group, G, PM, delta M. Okay. So delta M is such that delta M of UE is UE tensor UE. And delta M on CM of GQ is equal to the co-multiplication on GQ, on CM of GQ. Okay. So you see from this that that every UE is a one-dimensional co-representation, unitary representation. Okay, for all E, for all HE, UE is UE is in the irreducible of G because it's one-dimensional, so it's irreducible. Okay, and you see also that the irreducible of GQ, they are inside the of GP. Okay, inside the irreducible of G for all P because of this condition.
Can you compute the representation theory?
This is what I'm doing now. And you see also that the map SE from C of GE to C star max of G south of E induces an injection, S still denoted by SE, from the irreducible of GE to the irreducible of G south of E. So this is inside the irreducible of G. Okay? In the obvious way. Then you call, you say that, so let U in B of H tensor CM of G, if you want, a unitary representation. Okay, finite dimensional. So we call U reduced if U is of this form. U is equal to U0, let's say V0, U E1, tensor U E1, tensor, etc., tensor U En, tensor Vn, where V0 is in SE1 of the irreducible of G1, so this is inside the irreducible of G. I is in the source I plus 1 of the irreducible of G I plus 1, again in the irreducible of G, and by this I mean a tensor product between representation in G, and such that and omega, which is E1, En, is a path from P0 to P0. So here I recall this was P of, I fixed some, and this is Pm of some maximal subtree. Okay, and Ei plus 1 is equal to Ei bar implies that Vi, sorry, there is a mistake here. So V0 is in irreducible of G source of E1, and Vi is in the irreducible of G source of Ei plus 1. Okay. And you ask the reduced condition. If Ei is equal to Ei bar, you want Vi to, so this is in this set. But you don't, this is not in the image under SEI plus 1 of the irreducible of GEI plus 1. Okay? So, a reduced representation need not be irreducible. Okay? But you can write, you can understand a little the representation theory from the reduced one. So first point is that, so you take, let U be irreducible representation of G, then one of the following holds. So what can happen is that U is some UE, okay, or U is coming from some irreducible of GQ from some vertex, okay, or U is unitarily equivalent to a sub-representation of a reduced representation. Okay. So that means that this set of representation, the union of for Q of the irreducible of GQ and the UEs generates the representation category of G. Okay. So you have some generators, and then from this you can prove that the R state is H is equal to, so you take lambda to go to the reduced, then you take the conditional expectation on AP0, and then you take the R state on AP0, on GP0. And then from this you can check that the maximal C-star algebra of G is PM, and the reduced C-star algebra of G is P. And the canonical map, which go from the maximal to the reduced, is, so lambda G is the lambda I defined just here. And for you have also a description of the van der Waals of L infinity of G in terms of fundamental van der Waals algebras of graph of van der Waals algebras, but I did not explain this stuff. So maybe let me give now some permanence properties. So first one. So these properties I just recalled, but I did explain before. So G is coexact. G is coexact if and only if GP is coexact for all P. So I did prove. I mean, this is just the theorem I said before. G is cats.
So when you say coexact, you mean that the C star algebra is exact?
Yeah.
The reduced.
Yes. So G is cats if and only if GP is cats for all P. So you can see from the formula here. 3. Now you suppose. So you suppose this set of properties. I would call them star. You suppose GP cats for all P. And dimension of C of GE is finite for all E. Suppose this set of properties. Then G is, I don't know. So this I proved also, I explained also last time. Let's say co-hyperlinear, if you want. I mean, yeah, co-hyperlinear. If and only if GP is for all P. Okay, meaning that L infinity of G embeds in R omega.
Co-hyperlinear.
Yeah. I mean, this is the definition if you want, but we don't really care. So four also I explained last time. So with this set of properties, star, of assumptions, then G is co-Heuge group. If and only if GP is for all P. And the last one, so the last one is the one I did not explain before, because it is not known for if you do not assume that the C star algebras are coming from quantum groups. So you again with this assumption stars. Lambda CB of G hat, I mean, you know what I mean by that, is 1 if and only if lambda CB of GP hat is 1 for all P. So for this, this is not known even for free products of van der Waals algebra of 2 1 factors. And so you need that it comes from quantum groups. Okay. So this stuff, this is easy. This is just doing this trick, this inductive limit trick, and then dévissage technique, unscrewing technique. And so now the theorem, this theorem is difficult. So if GP is coamenable for all P, then G is co-K-amenable. So I have to explain, still did not explain what does it mean, this. So definition, G is co-K-amenable if the map, so you have the map lambda from C, full C star algebra to reduced C star algebra. So if this map, so if the class of lambda inside KK C max of G, C of G is invertible. so I have to explain what I mean by invertible. So this map, I mean, amenable means that this map is invertible. K amenable means that this, in KK theory, this is invertible. Invertible, I mean, let's see. Okay, so I will not, I can explain, you know, with really a lot of details what does it mean to be invertible, but I will not, and I will just give another characterization that I will prove. Okay, so we can, I mean, by invertible, without any details, this means that you have a Kasparov, you have actually a product, associative map. This is called the Kasparov product. Okay, and then by invertible, I mean that there is some element alpha, let's say in KK of C, by invertible. So this is Kasparov product, and so let's say it maps alpha, beta to alpha tensor B, beta. So this is the notation. And invertible, lambda is invertible, means that there exists alpha in KK of reduce of G full of G, such that lambda tensor reduced alpha is equal to the identity of the full. Identity of the full, I recall this is full, as a bimodule and 0, 0. Okay, class of this. And alpha tensor full, lambda is identity of the reduce. Algebra. So the point is that the Kasparov product in general, this is very difficult to construct, but for this kind of element coming from star homomorphism, this is very easy. So I can write exactly what is it. This I can write exactly the in terms of the Kasparov triple. I can say what is this product, okay? But I will not say. I mean, this is the.
No, but you can tell the alpha. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, I can. If I write alpha as a Kasparov triple, then this triple I can write what is it in terms of alpha, and so I can give you a real definition. But instead of that, I will give you another condition which is equivalent, and this is the condition I will check for the proof of this theorem. G is K amenable if and only if there exists alpha in KK of the reduced C star algebra of G C such that lambda star alpha is equal to the class of this Kasparov triple in, so this is in KK of, okay, this is C with the trivial representation in KK of C star full C star algebra of G. So this is easy to deal with because you see these are just pair of Hilbert spaces with Hilbert space representation almost intertwined by almost unitary. So this is you see you have the trivial representation of G, Cm of G in C, but this is just at the level of the maximal, okay? And
So
this.
So what is the representation that you're taking? The co-unit.
Yeah. This is the trivial representation of the full C star algebra of G, co-unit. And it does exist only at this level, not at this level. But I'm saying that actually it exists, you know, it is represented by an element at the reduced level. And so this lambda star, this.
If it exists at the reduced one, then you have amenability. So you're just saying that, co-amenability.
Yeah.
you're just giving it KK.
Yeah, this lambda star here, I'm not sure I did explain, but you see, lambda is a map from here to here, and I want to map element from here to here. So here I have pair of Hilbert space with representation of the reduced. Then if I have representation of the reduced here, I have, sorry, I didn't. If I have a representation of the reduced, if I compose before with the lambda, I have representation of the full. So this is this lambda star. Okay. So yeah, so this is equivalent, and this is equivalent to say many other stuff, but I have no time to explain. I will just now give you explain what is the alpha and how I construct an homotopy from this to this. Okay.
And this is implicitly this proposition
Sorry.
that it is amenable.
Oh, this is totally trivial.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just computing some Kasparov product, but with easy cases of Kasparov product. So this is very easy. So now let's go for the proof. So to simplify the notation, I will take groups, and you will see, you will feel how you have to translate everything with quantum groups, because with all I explained before, this is kind of obvious how to translate. So you take gamma. Gamma is the fundamental group of a graph of groups in P naught. Okay. So this is the data. You have a fundamental group, and you need to construct two unitary representation of the reduced. So two unitary representation of gamma weakly contained in the regular to have a representation of the reduced C-star algebra. Okay. So we want. So what we want alpha in KK. So want alpha is equal to h pi, k pi, f, so k rho. So pi is a unitary representation of gamma in U of h, weakly contained in the regular representation to extend to the reduced C-star algebra. Rho is a unit representation on k, weakly contained in the regular, and f is in B of h k. F star f minus 1, f star minus 1 are compact operators, and f pi of g minus rho of g f is compact, is a compact operator from h to k for all g in gamma. Okay, so first, this is to obtain this an element here, and then I have to show that this element is okay. So what I do is I explain to you how to, from this group, to construct a tree on which it acts. So actually this is what I'm doing now, but I don't really need the geometry of the action on the tree. I just need the L2 space of the tree. So I take H is the L2 space of the edges of this tree. If you remember, this is the sum over Q of L2 of gamma P naught Q over gamma Q, because this was this joint union of these sets. And K will be the set. So now I have to. So actually I don't take. So for the L2 space of the edges, this was the sum over all edges of gamma P naught south of E over sigma E S. Okay, but I will just fix an orientation. Fix EG plus in EG an orientation. Of G, and I will just take the positive edges. This is some technical stuff. Okay, now you see that gamma. So gamma is in gamma p0, it acts by left multiplication here. I mean, you have unitary representation here. And again, you have unitary representation here. This is rho. And now they are weakly contained in the regular representation because this is a sum of representation. Each is weakly contained in the regular. Why? Because the gamma q is amenable. Okay? So, I mean, this is this lemma, if you want, if H, sigma is in H, sigma is amenable, then this action, this unitary representation, I mean, is weakly contained in the regular representation. Okay? This is because, yeah, okay. So you have conditional expectation on the reduced level and you do GNS of the condition. Yeah, okay. So we have these two representations which are weakly contained in lambda, so this is good. Now I have to construct F from H to K, this operator, okay? So what I will do, I will define F of delta gamma p naught. So this is when Q is p naught, and I take the just length 0. This is 0, okay? And then F of delta G gamma Q for G not length reduced word with length more at least 1. So G is G, let's say G0, E1, En, Gn. E1, En is going from P naught to Q. But then, because there is a gamma Q, I can just, you know, and F of that, this will be, there are two cases. So either In is a positive edge, and then this is delta of G sigma INS. Either In is negative edge, and then I define this as delta, so G1, En, etc., G En minus 1, Gn minus 1. So it's going now from P naught to the range of En minus 1, which is the source of En. So oh yeah, this one is not good. Okay. So I need some word. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. When En is positive, you know it's going to the range of En, so I cannot put. So yeah, G naught E1, En minus 1, Gn minus 1. So it's going from P naught to the range of En minus 1, which is the.
I'm confused. What do you mean by En not being positive?
I mean, so orientation is partition. With bijection here. And so this is element here. Okay. So here I take, sorry, when En is positive, so it's going to the range of En minus 1, which is the source of En. So I take that. I mean the source of En here. Okay? And when En is negative, I take exactly the same here, the same G. It's going from the, so P naught to the range of En. En is negative, so En bar is positive. And it is the source, the range of En is the source of En bar. So now I am in this set with only positive edges, okay? So this is the operator. And if you do the computations, so you see what is happening here. you see that this is, if you don't take length 0, just not length 0 here, and then this is unitary from the orthogonal of length of this vector to here, okay? Because it maps orthonormal basis to orthonormal basis, okay? So this is a unitary in the orthogonal of this vector, okay? So this means that this is a partial isometry, okay? So f star f is 1, and f star f will be 1 minus p, where p is the orthogonal projection onto C delta gamma p naught. Okay, so you see this is unitary up to compact operators. Okay. Okay, so now we have to check that it intertwines the two representations up to compact operators. So first, f pi of g is equal to rho of g f for all g in gamma p naught, length 0. This is because I mean, you see on the definition, when you multiply by an element on the left of length 0, you do not change the length of the elements here. Okay, so f, yeah, I mean, it does not change. Yeah, you see. If you apply delta gamma p0 here and here, you have 0. Here you have g gamma p0, but this is in p0, so this is gamma p. You have 0 again, and then on the orthogonal, you see by the formula it doesn't change anything. Okay, and the two is that so f pi of g minus rho of g f as finite rank for all g g naught e1 en gn reduced length n more than 1. Okay, and you can exactly compute the rank of this. So I will not do that. I mean, this is not difficult. You apply each vector and you separate each cases and
Can you explain one again? Number one.
One. So if I apply delta gamma p0, it's okay. This is 0 here because okay, and here pi of g delta gamma p naught is delta g gamma p naught, but g is in p naught gamma p naught. So this is delta gamma p naught, and then you apply f, you get 0. Okay? And then on the orthogonal of this vector, you see here, I multiply here by an element, here by some element in h in gamma p naught, and you look here, you have the same element, and you can put, I mean, this is rho of h times this element, so it commutes, you see? Because, yeah, you don't change the length when you multiply by length 0 element. But here, this is not true anymore, I mean, because you can have a length, for example, length 1 element, and multiply by another length 1 element, and have a length 0 element. So somewhere here it can be 0, and the other is not 0. You see what I mean? Right. And here, yeah. So even if I put delta gamma p0, here this will be always 0. But if you multiply by length more than 0, length at least 1, then this is not, this is of length more than 1, and then f of that will not be 0, you see? So you have to actually, you can do that take by induction on the length if you want. You can show that this has finite rank. Okay. Now I need to compute the homotopy between lambda star of so we have gamma, which is the class of H with pi, K with rho and F. This is an element in Kk of C star red of gamma C. Okay. And now I have to compute lambda star of gamma minus the class of C with the trivial representation 0, 0. Okay, and I want to show that this is homotopic to generated triples. Okay, this is 0 in Kk. So what is this? This is the class of H pi composed with lambda, K rho composed with lambda, F plus direct sum 0 C 0. Okay. So this is just H pi composed with lambda, K tilde, rho tilde, and F tilde, where K tilde is equal to K plus some copy of C, and rho tilde is the action rho composed with lambda plus the trivial representation on C, and F tilde this is equivalent to this one. I will define an F tilde equivalent to the F here because this is the same up to a finite rank. And what is it? You take F tilde on the orthogonal of delta gamma P0 is equal to F on the orthogonal of delta gamma P0. So this is a unitary from H minus C delta gamma P0 to K, unitary. Okay. And then you correct on gamma P0. You take F tilde of delta gamma P0 is equal to omega. Okay. Then, yeah, the problem here was that K has, if you want, one dimension less than H, but now we add one dimension to K, so now it's unitary. F tilde from H to K tilde is unitary. So this is nice to have a unitary because we want to show that this triple is homotopic to some degenerated one. So, okay. So now we have to construct the homotopy. This is the difficult part. Okay. So now I introduce, I will put some parameter. So for P in VG, I define HP is the sum of L2 of gamma P Q over gamma Q with the representation, unitary representation pi P. And Kp tilde will be the sum of L2 of gamma P E positive edge over sigma ES plus C omega with representation of gamma, let's say rho P. I mean rho P is the left multiplication here plus trivial representation. So actually, Okay. So let's say of gamma p, let's say. Yeah, I just care about representation of gamma p. Okay. And now for so I will I will define some unitaries. So for edges, I will define some unitary VA from K tilde range of A to K tilde south of A, and also WA from H range of A to K south of A. And you see you have some unitaries here. This is just left multiplication by one edge, okay, plus trivial here. But this canonical left multiplication by one edge, I will change them on like a finite dimensional subspace in such a way that that this, if I change, so now if they satisfy the good relation, this family of unitaries, I will have a representation of the maximal C-star algebra replacing the left multiplication by E by these unitaries. And in such a way, so I will define that in such a way that the representation I have now on the full C-star algebra on here and on here, they are degenerate with this F tilde. And then I will do a pass from these unitaries. Okay? So suppose A is a positive edge, and so the first case 1. So now I define VA. So the first case is that if A is a loop, this means that the range is equal to the source. Okay, this is some vertex P. Okay. So I can write in this case L2 of gamma P over sigma AS as RA plus LA, also as RA bar plus LA bar, where given A, LA is the closure of the span of the delta G sigma AS for G in gamma PP. The length of G is more than 1, and G begins with A. Okay, so this is a word beginning with A. And so this is, you can write this more explicitly if you want, span of delta G AS. So G in gamma PP is reduced of this form, G 0 and then A, G1, E1, etc., En, Gn. You see, it begins by the first edge is A in the reduced expression. So and G0 is in the I want G0 by begins with A. I mean that you can erase G0 if you want. So this means that this is in the source of A because you can put this here. Okay. So now RA is the orthogonal of LA inside this space. So what is it? This is the closure of the span of delta G sigma AS, where G is in gamma PP. So either the length of G is 0 or the length of G is more than 1 and G does not begin with A. So what does it mean? This means that G, you can write like this, with, so E1 is not A, or E1 is A, but this is not here. G0 is not in the source of A. Okay? So this is the orthogonal, right? So maybe I should, so I did not explain what is, so all this notion of reduced operator and of reduced word and this stuff, for quantum groups you have this similar notion with the reduced operators and this stuff, and they span all what you want. And this L2, maybe I did not explain what is this. You take HPQ, this is a AQ module, okay? And you have this is a module over the radius C of GQ, the radius 1, okay? Then you have, because this is coamminable, you have the co-unit at the level of the reduced, and then you take epsilon C, okay? And then this is this, and you take the sum over Q, and this is this Hilbert space. In the group case, you have exactly the same. So you know, you see how to replace everything. Okay. Then okay. If you see this isomorphism, then you see you can translate everything this very easily.
This was not the original proof, right?
No, this is very different. This is very, very algebraic. I mean, in the original proof, the homotopy is not explicit. It's not explicit at all. This is going through the Schoenberg theorem. So they have action on this tree. They have the metric on the tree. This is a conditionally negative type. So they take exponential of that. Okay, you have a positive definite function, and then you take GNS of this positive definite function. It gives you, so with lambda, you know, E minus lambda distance in the tree, and then it gives you family of Hilbert space, and this will be, you know, the way to have an homotopy. You have a continuous family of Hilbert space, and you do. So this is, so this is not explicit at all, but this is very explicit, you see. Okay, so. Okay, good. Now, how to define this? So you have for LA, so similar definition for L A bar R A bar. Okay, and you look now. If I do left multiplication by A on L A bar. Okay. So what do I have? So L A bar, this is the word that begins with A bar. Okay, and since this must be reduced, okay, and if I multiply by A, I erase the A bar, but now it cannot begin with A, right? Because this is reduced. So this is RA. Okay? And also A bar is LA, okay? And if you apply A now to delta A bar sigma AS, what you get is delta sigma AS. Okay, so we have this. So now I define VA as a unitary in L2 of gamma P over sigma AS by the following formulas. So I write this space L2 of gamma P over sigma AS as L A bar minus C delta A bar sigma AS. So this is in this space. It begins with A bar plus R A bar plus plus C omega. Sorry. So here plus C omega. So plus C omega plus the vector I missed here, this one. Okay. And I can also write this as, so this is also equal to, now, so this is the composition RA plus LA. So this is RA minus this vector. So you see, this vector is in this space, plus LA plus this missing vector I removed is it here plus C omega. Okay. So now I have to define a unitary from here to here. So here you multiply by A on the left. Okay. So you have a unitary here. Here you multiply by A on the left. You see, because it maps this to this and this vector to this vector. This is unitary here. And you see, now I'm just changing the left multiplication by A on a two-dimensional subspace. So I just map, I exchange, I should map the left multiplication by A is this to this and this to this, but I do the other way. Okay? And you have a unitary like this. So this is VA. Okay. So you see that A star, A bar if you want, A bar VA is finite rank. I mean, two-dimensional rank. Okay. Okay, nice. Now case 2. Sorry, I did not explain the end of the definition. Now, so I define this as a unitary from here to here, but I have to define as a unitary on this the space K tilde range of E. So now on so K tilde range of A, sorry, is the sum over positive E of L2 of gamma P south of range of A south of E over sigma ES plus C omega. So you have my space here, this one. Okay, plus the sum. So the sum for E not in A, not A. So I did suppose A positive from the beginning. Plus, so the rest is the sum for E not A of L2 of gamma range of A south of E over sigma ES. And I go so from this will be my unitary will be the via I defined here. This will be the left multiplication by A going to the same spaces. So plus the same space here. Okay, so you have a unitary now from unitary VA from K tilde RA to K tilde RA. Okay? So again, here you see I don't. So again, as a unitary here, A bar VA is two-dimensional rank. Okay. Okay. So now let's. When should I stop?
5.
5. Okay. So I will now explain how to deform. So I will not explain the WA, but this is something similar you have to do. So yeah, I have to finish the definition of VA because I assumed that A was a loop and A was positive. Now case 2, A is not a loop. Take VA is equal to left multiplication by A. So you see that in any cases, A bar VA is, so either this is, yeah, you see, any cases, this is, yeah, this is, I mean, VA is almost A up to a finite dimensional space. So I don't want, I mean, it's not two-dimensional rank, but how to say? It's one, it's identity minus, you know what I mean, okay? It's not two, I'm...
You mean co-kernel is?
Sorry?
What do you mean by?
It's not two-dimensional rank, but I mean, if you do VA and VA star, then this is different from identity on a two-dimensional subspace. So I should say A bar VA, this should be identity minus some two-dimensional rank operator, okay? Okay, this is almost identity. And here also, this is even identity here. Okay, and now if A is negative, put VA is equal to V A bar star. Okay? So I will not do the WA, but this will be the same kind of deformation on a finite dimensional subspace, but for WA, you don't change with the left multiplication when this is a loop, and when this is not a loop, you do some modification. Okay, this is the... Actually, if you want, this is the... VA is like the case of HNN extension, and WA is the case of amalgamated free product. So now you can check these formulas from VA. Yeah, left multiplication by A and VA omega is omega. Okay. Okay. So you can check the following. Gamma 2. So rho tilde, I will not put the vertices. Rho tilde of SA of X is equal to VA rho tilde of range of X VA star. And also for the other representation, okay, I did not explain the WA, but you have a similar. Okay, we'll just do for the VA. Okay, so I have this. So maybe let's stop here. And you know that you also have rho tilde of SA of X is left multiplication by A, rho tilde of RA of X, left multiplication by A bar, okay? When you say that A omega is omega, I mean this is, okay. Okay, so now from this, you see that from these two relations, you see that left multiplication by E bar times VA, this should be, so this is in operator on K tilde range of A, Okay, this is an operator. It's called range of A to source of A and then range of A. And also because of this, it should commute with the image of B, range of A, BA. Okay? Because I have this relation here and here. So now I commute with this. Okay? So now you can write A bar VA as E to the I HA. HA is an operator inside this, and actually it will be a compact operator because of what I explained here. And so you define VAT is E to the ITHA. So now it's going from, it's a unitary from K tilde range of A to K tilde source of, sorry, this is source of A to K tilde range of A. Okay, and because this commute with this part, you still have VTA rho tilde of RA of X, VA T star is equal to rho tilde of SA of X, because this part, commutes with the stuff. Okay, so now by this kind of relation, you can use universal property. By universal property of the full C-star algebra of G. Universal property when you view this as the full fundamental C-star algebra. Then for all T, there exists a unique rho T from Cm of G to B of K tilde, such that rho T of A naught UE1 UEN AN. This is let's pass from P naught to P naught. This is equal to rho tilde of A naught VT E1 VT En rho tilde of AN. Okay? So you do like this. And then you also, so then you have to define the WA, do a similar construction to get WAT, and to define pi t in a similar way, okay? And what you have to check is the following lemma, that F tilde pi of G naught WE1 WEN, so this is the W, I did not define, pi of Gn F tilde star is equal to rho tilde of G naught V E1 V En, sorry, N rho tilde of Gn. So this means that for t equals 1, this is degenerate, and when t equals to 0, you see you did not change anything. This is the left multiplication, so you have the initial stuff. So this is end of the proof. Okay, nice. Thank you.